once. But then we start this very important weekly government press and civic engagements. Alright, the people that we get full with the sound. We are on top of all my devices there now. This attempt for the devices they all be in the silent mode or you turn them off completely. Thank you very much. It's exactly 2 p.m. Today, 15th April 2025. I want to welcome all to the weekly government press conference we also will use for civic engagement. Today, we get a very high-level panel for providing updates on 2 critical security-related issues. Number 1, an unfortunate fire incident happened. We the State House in Central Clinton. We don't bring up 2 of the top people across government. One person responsible for the immediate response, and the other person will look at disaster management in the country. We can provide updates to the people of Salon. I also proud to say today we get to have a colleague, the Honorable Melrose Committee, whether the Minister for Social Welfare, who will deal with the fire situation and that, we talk to social welfare, we deal with another issue in America security related. Because some of the migration issues there we deal with their security problems. And we will kind of discuss, and we will also get 1 or 2 of the Salon brother and sister as well for spotlight some of the issues there we talk about. As usual, I want to take this opportunity to tell thank you to members of the protest states. They always cover the press conference, the print and electronic media. I want to thank you for your support. I want to say thank you to all the people that we particularly help we for that we in this press conference back to the people of this country. We partner them, Sierra Water, Africell, particularly Orange, and VSO, and plenty others they will also be as the press conference is done. Special thanks to UNDP, who are every for state this case, the Chinese government for their support to be. Now, I'd like to quickly about the news updates and country. Since last week, His Excellency President Julius Malabio today in the State House to go do a personal assessment of the damage we fire because the State House will be fire incident on Saturday, 30th April 2025. His Excellency will tell thank you to the respondents there and he said they look forward to the investigation to establish a true cause of this fire the situation going forward. The Honorable Vice President Dr. Mohamed Jalo said to praise the interagency response team for the swift and diligent efforts following that fire outbreak really happened in the State House on Saturday. In other news, the Honorable Vice President also commend PC Holdings Limited on the historic signing of that 12 million loan facility yet with the International Finance Corporation to support the company in large-scale onion farming projects and Lokomasama and local districts. This family producing a part of President Bill's commitment to fit Salon and with its private sector investments to show confidence in the work of His Excellency they do and the measures that we are put in place for the country. The Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Alpha Sise, ESQ and Indemnity, Madam Saptu, Mr. Sakori ESQ, that they hold one special strategic meeting with the leadership of the Salon Police for strengthening the country in response to sexual and drug-related crime. And then they talk about how they will work together for make sure see we reduce particularly violence against Black people in the school system. In other news, we have been seeing over the weekend, Fox Africa will feature Salon, very special edition, will feature the leading people that Salon will work on innovation and transformation, and you underline the big role with different entities in the play that comes in the private sector, in the public sector, members of governments, and all that for contributes to what they call a transformation who President building needs and Salon. And the highlights companies like Marabama, CTC mining, and others, where they say sign up economic climates and the country. If you know what the initiatives, I encourage you to pick up a copy online and see the Fox Africa latest edition with a Salon at the front stage. The President of Kosovo and His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, we hold a special meeting during the Antalya Diplomacy Forum. Now, Turkey, when I know say His Excellency, they attend this diplomacy forum. The way we begin, we get plenty important meetings for the world leaders there. And the final one, and that His Excellency in the keynote, we go na this conference na Istanbul, Turkey, even call on the world leaders there for them work hard for transform the international system, especially the UN Security Council. You see, the council that I outstated, as you know, was one of the leading figures in the world with the call for reform of the global order. And we go again at this diplomacy forum, we will make a very persuasive case for why the world needs for reform. So that we get for now as part of the news updates. We happened last week. I want now to talk to the panel from the fights again, Lieutenant General retired Brian Assisi and the Director General for the National Disaster Management Agency. Next to me, of course, against those committee, the Honorable Minister of Social Welfare, and then on the left, I will call him National Hero, somebody who been fed for this country for years, they call attention to some issues that we now capture the country attention. Mr. Dazi Kabandagongi, who is the Chief Fire Officer for the National Fire Force in the Republic of Sierra Leone. Mr. Kabandagongi, anyway, starts with everybody want to know. Saturday, we all the weekend and the general the top general the day for marriage, and the day for chilling, yes, instead of chilling. Everybody will remember outside the day. When somebody call you and tell you, hey, fire, they are the seat of power and the country, state house. You see plenty news, some fake news and all that. You are the authoritative voice as the primarily responded. I'll use this opportunity to brief the public. What's happening? Who send the call car? Who to do? How long it take? How to affect the fire? The extent of the damage? And we think that our assessment so far of the cause of the fire. We focus on landing first, state house, first question. I guess a couple of follow-up questions for you, but for example.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister, and thank you very much, Sierra Leoneans, for our patience and the idea state in a different way right now for able for new updates. See, I also go on the parcel website. I will start by saying the traffic and start. Precisely around 3:05 on that fateful day, we get a rolling call to the National Fire Force, since State House they on fire. And what we do, we dispatch 2 of the new fire engines immediately for washable and steam. And when they reach the able for local say some parts go to the entire State House, some parts are installed in the 4th floor, the day on fire. And that we therefore generates interest in the fire service. And from that, we take about 10 minutes for you for entering the State House. We don't do that initial assessment. They don't send feedback to all commanders and around Western area. We begin the operation immediately. The 2 engines then attack from 2 different plants. While they didn't attack, we gave for marshal all our fire engines. Then all fire engines we available in the Western area. Watch that fire single. So I mean, before it is 4 o'clock now, all the fire engines in the day, and in fact, it will interest you for say, me personally as chief officer, I mean, this is the operation. I mean, this is the operation from start so till we finish the particular operation. And when we get at the operation, we fight the fire. The intensity of the fire is on the 3rd floor. Yeah, the 4th floor are 1 or 2 offices there. But at the 3rd floor, and like I say, are just within that inside the West Wing, the central part of the West Wing. So not to the entire West Wing with the fire, not the entire East Wing with the fire. Who started with the fire, with our make sure the fire will move away from there or go to other wings and to destroy other areas. We see the fire in that particular area and make sure to stabilize away. Yes, the operation takes me a very long time to many people then it takes me up to 4 hours because now 7:15 and we actually extend the operation. But during that fight, a lot of activities take place. We therefore use, like I say, all fire engines at the Western area. We therefore draw a 20,000 liter Bowser for Buma for able for cancer support and government. Able for draw police firefighters and a hot scan of 2,000 liter fire engine. Let's say can support the operation. So we all believe it, and by our Almighty grace and it's the professionalism of the market, we aim for bring that fire under control. You don't extend go past 2 sides of the day at the time of the issue. We did it and we aim for us the fire. So now as to the extent of damage against the house, like I say, the 3rd floor, some offices there, bombed. Some were nearly bombed completely, some were nearly partially bombed, some of the offices there. Then the 4th floor and all the 2 offices there will become affected. Then the stairway will go right up after the 4th floor. One small stairway will go down the collapse. During the firefighting, some firemen will try for assembly for whole extinguishing of other fire. It collapses we all. In fact, we said that the one of the people will collapse it. But we all need a protective kit. I'm not going to get the card here, so for me, some Mr. Minister in camera, and we did in real firefighting kit. So when it collapses, we all just go and everybody move about and try to bring the fire under control. And I want to use the opportunity to thank everybody, the NDMA, the police. You see one thing of fire, when you get serious police control, especially inside the IGSS every day, when you make sure to take over traffic control management, we not get that problem before when they run up and down the road for a time and the way we get traffic problem on. We get full coordination, we able for all that fire with every type of professionalism we will get.
Thank you very much, sir. I want to just speak us as a Sierra Leone, citizen of Sierra Leone, and as a spokesperson for the government of Sierra Leone. I want to put on record deep admiration and gratitude to you and the members of the National Fire Force. Good Friday happened for months. Few people, then they wear some kits, they all go inside there. That's the definition of heroism. I've been getting the privilege for good day, just in the middle of some of our operation, and I witness you personally, you day kids a day up day defects this fire. You deserve the country in respect, the country in appreciation, and the country in support. Because if not for Una the Woko Una do, something that fire they will not take over the entire building, jump across other places. But because of what you just explained, that did not happen. Now, I want to tell a story here because I want to family know the facts. First day, you just explained, you get the call about 3:05. In between 10 and 15 minutes, fire force did not deploy at the site. Two of the new, take note of the word new, that means they get new fire engine. Also, sir, we know already did it. They start the process and they realize the fire, a big fire, it requires, and the building complex, also, they require additional support. And this is the seat of power. When I mobilize and get every single fire station in Western Urban and Western Rural for constant, whatever equipment they get, for join you, for feds. One thing we know mentioned directly, but I want to family know, nobody not die. Nobody not sustain a major injury, as we know, including, as my area, one of the steps that collapsed in the day when the step collapsed and they all calm down. Why? Because government will not provide protective equipment. We they be wearing. We employ in that fight day where we defense this fire. When they reach the fire in the third and fourth floor, the effects of keep the fire from moving away from the third and fourth floor. So they contain the fire at the third and fourth floor and effect until the fire be done. I mean, when you can't do now for say the fire will not get confidence, it will not extinguish. The Honorable Vice President will be the Chief of Police, NDMA General CC and others. I want for you just remind me how long it take a total for fight this fire, and then the Honorable people will call you into a meeting and give you another task with a part of your job. First thing in the morning, you go back inside State House. When I've been doing preliminary assessment, plenty people don't talk about waiting cause the fire speculation day. You are the professional. Please share with the public with a professional view of the cause of the fire. You can start with how long it will take for 35 and then what you can do. And then I want to come to that conclusion on my professional view, preliminary for now, on the cause of the fire. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. We used exactly 4 hours, 10 minutes. Remember, I tell you, I say we get the call at 3:05 and at 7:15, we don't extend the operation. And that's now, are they up when I talk with the Honorable Vice President directly, at the right at the top of State House, when I tell her, I'll say the operation not done. And it is so instrumental in knowing waiting they happen. So in order, say as you can do, that made I shed tears. I not ever meet up that kind of experience in my life. As I come down from the Honorable Vice President, all ministers that were present, including the brother, the Minister of Information, they were all down there waiting for me at that State House garden, the State House lawn, for him to talk to them. And I nearly shed tears because that was the first time for him to call me national heroes. But then I'm not the one for turn a hero because State House they go. Yeah, and we do it we supposed to do professionally. Now, as to the cause of the fire, you see, I will tell you categorically clear, or say in the opinion of the entire fire service, we believe say this is an electrical fire. But not only electrical fire, we get something for do with NP or ELSA or whatever. This is an electrical fire, we get for do with the appliance that we use inside the building. We able for do a lot of research at the building after, because one of the vice president don't do the order, so for do all the research and then we able for look at the site that we want. We meet up, plug them, we switch on. We meet up, plug them, then extension, then we normal extension they will buy. Something of very, very low standard. I mean, you can buy extension today, you connect them, you feel say now bad electricity, but the extension we buy the material. You see, the extension then a rubber. Now rubber they take for insulator. So if the insulating power of that particular material become compromised for any whatever reason, it will risk to fire. We realize say plug and the day maybe they still on. We realize say even ACs we meet up 1 or 2 ACs the day will be they on. Yeah, as of the time. So looking at the electrical connections that will be there now gone and scattered at the wall there and others, lead we for able for now begin to check, go cable to cable, the trace what you call fire behavior. I mean fire behavior, I'm not going to explain everything about fire behavior inside this program. It took me 6 months now waiting for able for study fire behavior. But using the fire behavior technique and be able to know the movement of the fire, that make we logically conclude or say this is an electrical fire based upon the appliance system, what you can call, normally we call it the applied load. They call it this building, they don't belong. This AC which have na applied load. All the ACs and all the electrical material, they na applied load. Now, the building is supposed to carry a particular load. If you overload them, it will cause fire. Then, if you put a cable, then we see now some of the offices there. You know, that state house, the floor, the back door, and the fourth floor will be there. Now, both floor. That's what they build in ancient time. Now, carpet then they pray on top. You know, when state house, if they work on top of the carpet, you know, we'll see now both floor. So when you put carpet on top of the whole floor, how do they fix the carpet there? Then a stick and the bread first, and then put the carpet because you don't want carpet there for the move more. A stick na highly combustible material. When that one they meet fire, that are the one of the reasons why make we smoke. Black smoke will go all over because the carpet there and the evo stick will be able for act as accelerants. For accelerate the spread at which the fire they go. We'll be able to know that quick and some of the affected will be there for wrap off so that we'll be able to bring the situation under control. So authoritatively from the fire point of view as chief officer of this public, I see with an authoritative parliament I get all the facts. You see, when we talk, I don't already write the entire fire report. Always I talk so now waiting the inside this fire report. We are not already forward. Authoritatively speaking, an electrical fire we get to do with electrical malfunction of appliance that will be inside the building.
Thank you, sir. Malfunction of appliances within the building, neither the professional view of the chief fire officer in the Republic of Salo, so that the reason why we come here and say this is so that we show President commitment, transparency, and freedom of information that people have a right to know. That's the people's house. And also so that we will avoid fake news and dabaru. Some people want to go and create something. Now, just to be clear, I can't out to say. The Honorable Vice President, we also set up a response team. The response team get 3 major tasks. One, then they take this report now, then they conduct a larger investigation for see if the appliance is there. Then we're going to give a professional opinion also or view on it. The investigation will say, okay, this appliance, will this happen? Now somebody do it by willfully never or not, na negligence, na whether negligence, na mistake, na this, okay? Wetin happen leading up to, wetin happen on the day, and wetin we will learn from that. One part of the investigation with the team will be bit of setup. The team includes law enforcement, NDMA within NIA, professional engineering, private engineering firms have been invited to join that team. Ministry of Works and Public Assets in that team. So we look at all that. The second task, I've already assess the extent of the infrastructure damage to the building. And now its suitability for work. Because like I said, the smoke will go the next day, will go the smoke will all choke. All go inside, this was a day after. So for check, okay, let's not happen to the foundation of the building now, how we will use that, we say everything. We don't mention, see, other floors were unaffected, including the floor where the house normally, the office of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone. So those, they therefore now do all that assessment, and within a week, they will provide the reports to the Honorable Vice President for onward review by His Excellency the President. Third task, what they get, now for now we recommend. Waiting for learn from this, waiting for do different, and waiting for ensure recovery, rehabilitation, use of the building. All of that, this government, in the spirit of transparency, will come back and report to the people of Sierra Leone. General, as NDMA, una self-immediately cause. When disasters may happen at this scale, NDMA they play a critical role. Maybe that starts by asking you, let people in the family understand. NDMA the role and the role on play on the day. And anything we want to share on the patterns of disasters, which you don't observe as a professional and which we all need for do. So, we'll give you like 7 minutes. Then you do that before we don't look at the Honorable Minister. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Viewers and listeners, good afternoon. As the Chief Fire Officer said, the incident we get the information about the fire at State House. Then I put the rapid team, response team together and instruct, we headed by the whole director, Director of Relief and Response. Let's go and the site immediately. And when they go in, they made the fire the fire force already don't begin try to put the fire out. Then the head of the team, where the director, informed me and tell me, say, DG, this fire is serious. So immediately I left what I do so that myself rush to the site. And indeed, when I reached the site, I really don't see the fire being serious. The Chief Fire Officer don't tell you how long it takes for put out the fire. But I also want to talk about the coordinated efforts will happen around the vicinity of State House to make sure say this fire will fight effectively and put them under control. Several other organizations, agencies, ministers of government, including the deputy minister, which lawyer, so they did it, the minister, they did it, some staff of the State House, including the president, the secretary to the president, the chief of staff, the facility manager for that building there, and other key staff there. ONS, the Center Intelligence and Security Agency, the EFSA, the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces, in fact, about 3 generals on site. The Sierra Leone Police, including the IG himself, Guman authorities as well in Dede. ministers, as I don't say, deputy ministers, and others. Another key person will be there, the Honorable Vice President, Mr. Binde on the ground. When disasters occur, we can activate what we call the incident management system. Inside this incident management system, no sooner than it happen, you appoint an incident commander where they take care of the side way people who get access to and where they don't get access to. Well, as the most senior individual who been there out here, that is the winner of the Honorable Vice President, he assumed the role, he automatically assumed the role of the incident commander because he was directing issues professionally that day. So I want to say thank you for that. I want to commend the efforts of the National Fire Force. In fact, on that day, to be honest, the chief fire officer necessary to become a firefighter. He was right there. And it not be easy for them because it was not to be working time. So offices were closed. So some side for them to gain access, then therefore break doors. And that again takes some time. So indeed, they do a lot of sacrifice. So I think say as Sierra Leoneans, we need for commended displaying the highest degree of leadership and loyalty. Thank you very much, Chief Fire Officer. We all admire that. You know, the Honorable Minister of talk already was the thing that we government put in place already. The investigations that we get for go on, and including forensic investigation as well, so that we will know who signed for put blame, who signed off for put blame. But I just want to talk generally now about hazards and the country. Last year, we've been inundated with building collapse. Series of building collapse, especially Freetown. We get about 14 buildings that we collapsed last year. And almost except one, but all the fatalities we suffered last year, when I been 31, all are due to building collapse or fence or wall collapse. This year don't start. We don't begin with fire incidents. And it is becoming serious by the day. That not only for Freetown, but even in the provinces. And most of them fire, they are so really happen. To be very honest, the human factor, the inside the plenty. Waiting that we safely do, we not good with the big things here that happen. Honestly, fire when they catch for itself. If somebody not trigger, even the upline fire they will get. Now bushfire people in the go bush. Now fire they go on a bush at all. Like that serious fire in Kuchima. We all die in water. We over 40 houses destroyed. People farm products there. They don't harvest. Put on and banks there. All go. Houses them go. So this year we don't begin with serious fires. For the NDMA, your point of view, we get about 78 different fires that we don't record. The fires of the National Fire Force in different role. Because then if each in fire assessment, the record that because they call them for body. But the one that we don't record, we will not do assessment of is about 78 fires across the country. And that's
This is from January to
now.
Okay.
January to now, this first quarter of the year, it's really alarming. We therefore pay attention to what they really do. But then we make sure we try to stop NTS. I don't see most of the things that will happen with them fire disasters here. Now human induced fires and they'll go. We left with houses them, we left with AC them on, we left with fridge and freezers them on. We left with the other electrical appliances them on. To be very honest and bad habits. We need to put them off. When we come back, we put them on. If honestly, even we wife them, we command them, we auntie them, when you prepare 4-5 days soup, if you don't get enough ice during the weekend, you can put your freezer off week and you put them on. So you cannot develop back the ice before do the clean. So we don't get no reason why actually go for left team early on. We need for pay attention because the loss way we suffer when fire happen. It's difficult for a place. It's really, really difficult for a place. So therefore pay attention, you know. We don't need to do certain things then in the plan. Every year, this document will also now the annual hazard calendar what we produce. If you look at them, you will see at the center, you see that fire. So from January to December, fire and hazard in this country. In right across. In other areas, you will see say bushfires and the north, yes, limited to January to March. March to May, you get some other bushfires, and the south, some other windstorm begin from May to July, because that's when the raindom begin to come, breeze they blow heavily. Then you get flooding, where they start from July, August, September, we call them the just months. July, August, September, then they are floods, and we get. Then you get floods and windstorms again. We will continue with we till to then November before we will see we don't rest more. But no sooner we rest, fire don't pick up this year. So we therefore make sure we pay attention to what we do with fire, and we appeal specifically to the woman there. The one that they play more with fire in the house. Some people can just left them with pots in the backyard. They say go out for himself. If breeze can blow that one, they send at the house and fire. So we undertake a lot of activities as an agency. We do continuous engagement. Now the various media houses there, radio and TV, for sensitize people on fires and how to prevent them. So be careful with that. You know. Then we also do a lot of advisories with to communities around. We use the volunteer system. When they in the hazard areas, the areas that we think say they prone to that kind of thing, and they let them talk to them. Especially areas where we almost get communal type of living. Then now host to host. Difference on yourself. We cough now, you don't say the other person there. So as you see fire happen, you get that domino effect. So now you make a research and say 50 houses they're born. Now 50 structures, makeshift structures, now they're born. But not because of some of the areas they would live, some of the slum areas they would live. So we therefore we strategies around that as I talk, with the air jingles and so many other things like the radio and television. Some of them with all free lines are active, 1199, and all the 3 networks in the country.
1199?
1199.
All right.
Yes, now it's all free line. We don't activate to a situation room so that at every one time, people are available for respond to them all the day and for take action so that we can go there, you know. And we also require the society itself. And especially we women here, the journalists here, members of the 40 states, when I get a lot of roles for play, because Lord will all help and spread the information as you Lord will reduce the disasters. We don't want let the disaster happen because the effects become too much. Yes. And mostly we will recover from our public. Government can say and support you, they can't support you, but you know will give you everything. So the advice that we pay attention to research.
All right, thank you, General. Thank you very much, General, at the head of NDMA, the National Disaster Management Agency. Madam Minister, just before I come to you, I want one quick follow-up question on the data. The NDMA chief said they now record 75 fire. 78. See, now they pay attention. And then they pay attention. Test. So now I won't pass this test. Give me your data. Fires for body and stats. And then, yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. We did record every fire. I mean, NDMA record which they call critical infrastructure. We dey record everything. We data dey show say from January, February, and March, 201 fire, and fire force conflict right across the country. 201. And the breakdown is as follows. Western region, we record 119 fire incidents. Southern region, 35. Northwest, 19. Northeast, 19. Northwest, 6. Eastern region, 32. We make 201 fire from January to March. From where we begin April, we don't record 15 fires, including the unfortunate incident at State House.
So that means we talk 216
Fire incidents.
from January to April.
Exactly.
And that included 34 fire this morning?
Yes, sir, including 34.
Okay, so we also defeated that fire this morning. I call you immediately as well. And do this work. Okay, thank you very much. Again, I can let for someone and say, no, so you have to do. Yeah, never been this so. Proactive disclosure of information and President Bill, and sets the standard that we as a government forgive public information. Now I come to the colleague, the Honorable Minister of Social Welfare. Madam Minister, the social welfare sector is critical. In fact, plenty of the security and other challenges that we get connection with this sector. Today, I want to give you 10 minutes in total because I want to take 5 minutes and I need you to have told this time I want for you. So the minister will see us in 10 minutes. I want to keep it to 10 minutes. I want, Madam Minister, let's spend the first 5 minutes. Let's just give you a top line status of your sector. And then the other 5 minutes, I don't say you want to talk about tempo or you want to talk about what else is the way who will be bring up. Just yesterday, you've been dealing with one situation where they bring a whole bus of us, I think at Mauritania, for comeback salon. So give me an update on the sector, then update me on this situation. You get it 10 minutes. Go ahead, Minister.
Thank you very much, Minister Sipa, and thank you, Fambudem, with the DC and the one that we present here. I'm glad for the this program. And also just for say generally, the Ministry of Social Welfare in deal with the rights and well-being of the less privileged, the one that we call the vulnerable people. So now in the ministry, we get different directorates and we get family welfare. We of course they deal with Mama and Papa Pikin, and they want to keep a palava over Pikin, and that one say the maintenance of Pikin, they all the deal with another. We also get mental health directorate, where of course the famous push fight, where we are able for open a rehab center now at Hastings, and we also they only open a bow and down, and we don't get rehabilitate. Mostly college and school pick them and send them back to school and send them back to college. Even people that we don't come out of this country, we don't come and can't benefit from the services that we provide. We also deal with the social and religious affairs directorate where they talk about disabilities, the aged, of course, this migration work and religious affairs. And disability issues, we try very hard and we don't begin rehabilitate and some center for them to make sure say we people do not only depend on begging, street begging. We want to make sure say they involved in viable economic activities where at least they will go learn a trade. So through we partner there, UNDP, we don't aim for do one Namakeni, the other one na Eastern Yana, and just recently, we also don't get a fund where we fetch for and New York and the Indian government will give $1 million for them to be able to rehabilitate different training centers who sign them with people that only live with disability. At least they will go learn something, so that we only be begging because what they suffer because of that kind of thing. So we try for help them economically, for them to be empowered. So we also make sure the government don't try for make sure the one they within a panel because of the security threat and we try for relocate them. We did in communication with ONS and even the Ministry of Finance where they try for provide the resources. Of course, for let us begin and work effectively the way President Bill appointed as minister, which I do and work with the partners then and the office for them developing 5-year strategic plan because this is not the document where at least we therefore able for anybody who can go tell us say this is not the focus for the next 5 years. And this document now what they do. Even just recently in January, we therefore organized the staff retreat. We are going to develop a plan for the year, the annual work plan, and we'll do them across the country because freedom not so we know on a salon. Get people that out there we need the services. These are social services we talk about. But putting the data as we will do, with people that out here that say for being beneficiaries. So we need for include them into the annual work plan and what we do every time. So we get the directors of planning and policy. Of course, we get the agency, the Commission of Disability, where they under the ministry, and also we get the anti-human trafficking agency inside under the because President Bio therefore supports the enactment of the law, on anti-human trafficking because the guy my brother talked no more is say na security issue. So we get that. We get that secretariat where they look exclusively at that. And because of the thing they have, so we don't try as hard as possible for them to make sure we put the policies and legislation framework in place. As I speak to now, we just don't go now when cabinets we don't pass on the social services, which we don't try for pass on, and parliaments we don't do 2 sessions now. The last one, the social work regulatory bill, we get for pass on because we want for them the social workers to be very effective so that they will be able for deliver the services in an excellent way. So when we give a license, if you don't do the right thing, they seize your license, just the guy they happen overseas. This one, the social workers, they applaud and even Sierra Leoneans, because they feel say the rest of the world, they now, we said for try hard for them come in tune with the rest of the world. So we don't take that step a day. Even now, on the religious side, we don't notice say, Sierra Leone are a religious tolerance country. We are applauded for that all over the world. But in recent times, we don't get skirmishes around inter and intra-religious faiths. Some of them therefore do with the inter-democracies, the effect for power, who will be president of this, who will be this thing. So also religion don't clash with culture. We get an ugly incident will happen now the Kenma district, that area, the Usai, the Bon, the Golden Bush, and all of that. That was really serious. So what don't begin, watch the pattern and don't listen. This is not good for the country. We don't come up and take to a cabinet paper where they ask cabinet for giving the okay for them to develop the first religious tolerance policy. And that one day, now they therefore take the driver's seat because I don't also get religious people there where they come with complaints about different things there. And because there is no policy framework in the ministry, it's a huge challenge. So therefore, we engage them, all stakeholders, including the academia, including even government people there, everybody in this country, for them to come up with this policy because what you do now you get for guide the operations. So that tomorrow we'll not wake up into something we're not really bargaining for. We all the talk, we applaud that, but I tell you, we need to make sure we put that in place. So today, I really want for zone small on the migration issue. This migration issue is really serious for sister and brother, the way they run for go look for greener pasture. I want to let them understand, say, the opportunities are in your country. If other man they make Canada, you self will make them. Because the experiences where they get, the other way they come back, whether they narrate, even you will not be dead, you will cry. Now that's happened to brother and sister, the way they bring her yesterday. And mostly these are youths. The age bracket of health checks. Because you know, we say sometimes we're afraid now because of the health emergencies when they come up. So if they come on a country like that, we therefore make sure say, they're fit before they go into, the mainstream. So the communities. So we were able to do down there yesterday. This ministry was seriously challenged with resources. We don't get money. The ministry will not generate income. But the ministry will need income because the social sector will therefore take care of them because they're the fabrics of this society. All this problem about push, all these things, now because the social services we need for putting money, we need for make sure say with all countries, what we call developed countries for them, after Ministry of Health to them, now social services, and that then are the highest paid. Because they so believe that if you don't take care of your people, the President Bill do so, the human capital, President Bill puts a premium on human capital. If we don't take care of young people, then we not build a society. And we want to build a society where everybody they thrive. So I want now let listen to every one or two, let them tell una the thing because I want people to really pay attention. Because you when they run, tend to run, you go find greener pasture, you might be running a risk. But who don't die there? They tell we say Boku in a prison. They tell we say Boku left at the desert. So do ya family then I make a say that people in a self-canting, then they can talk.
All right, so yes, thank you, Madam Minister. We get two people that we had one yesterday. Now you come forward. You also come forward. Yes. Please, when I get a microphone for me, but I really honor. And yes, so what's I want to do quickly now? We'll go now 1 minute and a half quick. Let's just briefly share with you your story because one let family listen and you really challenge you the minister just talk about. You get 1 minute. Let's just quickly know what your story talk to you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
This is just a brief, just like what the minister will say. Really noisy. I left in this country last year. My name is Usman Kamara. I left this country last year, January 17, when I go Mauritania. I'm really in the West, we don't go before that time. Because we just spend 1 year, and the same calling, we said, because I asked them waiting. How the concept day, so explain to me, say, job the day, that's in the day. So if I go, I'm going to get a job at this, we take care of my family. So we said, left, I go. So I spend 1 week in a road for go. Because most of we use for go. But really noisy, actually, because the place too far. If you don't say marriage, I don't know, really easy. If you say all this way, you don't know. So when I go there, I at least here for engaging you, because the only job when I use job, where I see your man, when I see a woman, building construction, because they own land not fertile, you understand? Because I build house, and self idea, the ocean.
Usman, I want to ask you the next question. Yesterday, I'm a the boss. Which happened when you come back?
Then when we come because of documents.
So they now all up, all they put on a cell.
Yes, some of you,
Not okay, all.
some of you, then only put them a cell, then later deport.
They put on the side boss and we want to come back.
Of course.
So after all that suffer, we don't suffer, you don't feel like what there. So they just capture it and pay.
Yes. They say because of residential
Papers. Okay. Let me talk to the sister. Sister, what are your name?
Yes.
Again, your mic. What are your name?
My name is Salimatu.
in Canada.
Salima, are you picking that day?
Yes, sir.
So now you begin bingo or now you go on?
No, sir.
How long did the boys in here?
When I take the 2 years, 8 months.
And Salima, too, will you come on here? You said now somebody said call you, we go, why you left for go?
Yeah, somebody said call me.
You get party, cousin, boyfriend, great tell you say they can't wanna go so younger.
When me and my own sister, my own small sister, they said call me.
So we could tell me small bits about which you will see with an experience.
Well, first of all, waiting in service in a doing what we are doing. Because in the doctors are never
Hold the mic close to you one small yes.
because we say, you know, they ever come on and country for Google for any other person in country. I say, no, it makes me sister, no, you have to the money, I pass your money, and you know, see one for that because we don't get family really help you. We papa will get in on that. So I want you can country and to handle so that we will make our own return back, we go further with us going forward. I say, well, I invite so you convince me, tell you know, you will need, so you will be man. So when you will be man, and any man talk to them, and say, well, I will pay for you, let you go.
So you money left here, there you go.
Yeah, first left Canada.
Okay. And then the man said, go join you later?
Yes.
So waiting up where you did, and then I want to quickly, waiting up where you did, how the struggle the way you go through till you come back. Yes.
Me, it's probably to be alone, so I don't be resting.
Give me small bits.
Because one, the payment when I say they pay, we go. Not saying they pay, we that's now one thing first.
Mm-hmm.
So the way of living, it's also okay for me because it comes at the opening, and I need any kind of then say she can have me one grade. Like because by then it might not be going like in a month and then by month. Then they pay the money they pay for month. Salon a 1 year rentage.
So you are more expensive.
Yeah.
For living. So waiting up when they bring you come back.
Well, all of a sudden, like February 14, February 14, they just come with this strategy where they say they deport people from Mauritania. You get documents, you don't get documents. As long as you have foreign, they deport you. That deportation, they go house to house. They go working place to working place. As long as you have foreigner, they put you commodity and they can present you paper. You know they.
And then when they hold on, say they deport you now. What's that they hold on first before they put you on the next camera?
Me like this, so me na me host.
Mm-hmm. So they are less.
Not church.
No, church will be there. So they're holding a host, they lock the host by you.
Well, they know.
No, what I mean, when they don't go arrest you, say they deport you. Then the only in custody first, they go lock on some side.
Yeah. They go to a police station, they for some days until the country they want flog for them, they deport you.
Then how na come back na boss?
Well, they go left in the desert because Senegal and Mali are the boundary between them. So Senegal is saying they don't go left in and they don't boundary. Then Mali and Aspa they don't go left in and they don't place. If they want to deport people, then deport them directly at the country. So then go left far off the border, the two borders, and then go left. So we said we stand. We until we go meet people
Right.
until we go meet people where they rescue we, where they go to in Senegal. Because one man say embassy in Senegal for cigarette. I say well I don't know what I say collect me so I get the fake I get the belief. I mean they call it back the company back way they deport. I say well now I understand. Say no we go to the embassy for them to go give you paper for them to return back home. I say because this year so not care for can do any back.
So the embassy now put now put on a bus car. I want just quickly on how to Usman started with you. When I message to your man, your woman, the way salon, based on not just your experience, what you could see. I see salon people that they suffer and all. Whose message will you get for what are your man and your woman?
Let me go just talk to the people that they are allowing state of country and donating government for that way much because Yeah, because if you say the child will go on the man content, easy at all. Especially now, no easy at all.
Thank you. Sister, what may your message?
I mean, I am trying with brothers and sisters in your pregnancy. As long as we know to legal or any other traveling, me and the advice, then no go like what you fully say, we in the day so you give, I give you the money, or you give the money for like the travel or time knowledge for let you go, you pay. I don't want to do that, you becoming one of the victims. With that happen too. So me and the advice each and every one of you. If you know to Europe country or any other country advance, let me know. As long as Africa to me and the advice me brother and sister, you know that
Say, what's that illegal immigration? Elect na Europe, maybe not go because maybe you don't go Europe, it's me don't go. I don't.
It's not Europe. Me don't go.
All right. Wait. Now I'm making mine. All right. Now I'm making mine. A sister in experience. I'm going to say, not so. I didn't know see, not so. Just like when we did Saloya, the one know the Mauritanian, tell her, let's say Mauritanian, fine, all okay, they not so. I make it clap. You go there, you go get bad experience. We say, I want you know, sister, that you go put the call. Like exactly the same thing. The people the way they are, where they say, oh, you are because what you show. If I want to film of salon, I will show you all the fine thing no more. If you do that, I will start back on and go make up. Europe, they get strong, they get busy there. Me go Belgium. I go Brussels. Years ago with the beginning. Now they tell me, say, salon people they day. I go work salon people outside they leave. I cry. Me own salon brother and sister them. They give tap each other. And so they sleep. So they sleep at speeds. Then they run away all them because they can't arrest them. The shame they feel for come back home. They don't want to deport them because they visit. They continue for us to be like some in life. You don't so back on somebody like that he died. They beg that people don't lose their command. They don't get no money. And they work, they do all job, the woman, and they sell their body for them make ends meet. Then some man, in the day, it suffer when wants to offend $50 send to your antenna. Just for them come ashamed for saying this same day Europe. They go to start before building is snap. The message is clear. Illegal immigration, massive risk. It lead to bad outcomes. We not good for you, for your pikin, for we all. Waiting the minister don't come here for say today with brother and sister on really explanation temple on to Mauritania. Then they suffer. When they're ready for deported, and they even in the camp. They go left in a desert, they abandon the day. Imagine that. You know, who be small and safe people. They are here, now we are. No manage here, no bake here together, no join her. No come for this sister. Thank you very much. Thank you. For when they come and for when they get encouraged for can share with us the United. Yeah? Alright, I want to tell Minister of Social Welfare, the Honorable is coming to plenty. Thank you. Now I can open up for questions. Some questions maybe don't come in online, but I think say we don't address all the questions that will not come in online inside the first part of the question that we don't the answer that we don't get so far. Somebody may ask me if any life been lost. We don't make a clear say anybody not lost in life. Somebody don't ask for the cause of the fire, we don't get the answer. Somebody be say, if you say the last tank and fire along Wellington, we don't teach you lesson. Say we need cities that are well-equipped fire stations until we do the needful this will happen again. We can't ask the fire force, but put in a need, how we will support them and NDMA as well. We will ask another question here. Somebody asked whether the link between EDSA and the fire, save na bad lights. On this question, I see na radio them easier say, Guma Valley, I send you what's up so. Guma Valley send what's up kind of use so. If you get bad plumber, bad pipe, the hose, the pipe burst, water scatter all over your hose. Na Guma Valley goes on. Na Guma Valley then cause the fire. Similar thing. I don't say X are not get fault too. Some tell and else are get fault, But in this case, the analysis of the Lord will say to Guma Valley problem. You pipe they don't fix fine. This not left on, this that, the pipe explode. Water floods and use. So important. What's make I talk this now for them stick to the facts. You want attack exile, we will join you one wallet and be better. But by this one, not to exile, say bad lights will lead to this fire. Okay? Let me see the hands. No concentrate now to this, so don't start here. Last week, now start. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You are there? Okay, 5. Okay, let's go quick.
Mohammed Usman Bandura, publisher, Capital Times newspaper. Mr. Minister, I want to plead that next time you invite SIR, because the going and coming of electricity causes this spark. In fact, SIR will become an equal. The on and off don't cause a lot of disaster and storm. And they confirm that even to you, sir. So I really want to invite them now. Let them receive some charges from you. We don't fall as victims. Chief Fire, I want to compliment your efforts and if a very long time, we don't have to teach them here. But basically, some of our stations will be dilapidated. I travel to go some part of the country, Gambia and other parts. I want to confirm to you, see, the fire engines are really the carcass. And also, when I respond to fire incidents and freedom, a very slow start. I want for innovative the lead to that slow response to fire incidents. Thank you.
Morning, Kabarasa. The watch and the mountain newspaper watch.
You don't add new paper.
Personal.
Wash else one.
The humanity paper watch. Motto: humanity for mankind. I'm a minister of social welfare. As a former correspondent of Mauritania, I just want to speak to people and say, Mr. Minister, everybody present here. 85 I've met Sierra Leone and Mauritania both in Nouakchott and Nouadhibou in between yesterday and country as a correspondent. If Mr. Osman will tell me the truth that make it tell me say most of the regular Abogor Nouadhibou they cross go as far as my boat, which of course was impossible having this stranded. 1, 2, the Nouakchott where they talk about. Any black man who walk out, black woman, then they stop you for asking for marriage permits. You will admit that. The other one where available for surveillance, then Nouakchott, as you can see clearly, the way you go see them, the outside surveillance they make about different, that's the way they make so. Most surveillance they do for you. And most surveillance they don't mind, they will never come back home, but they try to do people in the back where the people say don't cross go and that is it. So what I advise now, no one join together for say no to that we can talk to them now, but passing it the way like that. Now come to the minister. No, minister. Me and you know, 65 years of university, I don't get a migration and deportation bill or act. What is this taking to you? Yes, sir.
Forget migration, is it?
Migration and Deportation Act at 64 years of requirement.
Okay, migration and deportation. Thank you, sir.
Bill of Act, take no one talk on that.
All right.
Yes, sir. If with multinational sir, we will take into consideration damages them. Where electricity occurs at this country, if the operation the name ETSA, get out of it because all the women for not paying the big name. Tell us something about the voltage. Probably technical something. Whose voltage will let the go off in the car off appliances of all nations. Wouldn't that be the capacity of the voltage will get that for make sure that they put for the
You mean specific to the incidents in the State House? All right. Go. Sarah, go.
Ibrahim Sarah since the voice of Salon Radio. And Mr. Bongisa, one of Hamas fire stations that they cut across the country, and how many fighting vehicles them when I get with the at work now?
Honest, Daybreak Festival Editor. This question is for the Minister of Information. I want to know whether there is a safety officer attached at State House to ensure that at the end of the day's work, all electrical appliances are turned off. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
No.
Ibrahim Lahai,
Wait. 1, 2, 3. Who that be number 4? That be new man, no? Okay, now you know 4. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yes, Ibrahim Lahai, the report for Radio Show. This question goes specifically to you, Minister Siba. We want to know specifically the office system way born at State House, because when you talk at it, this is very, very meticulously. And we want for them you make some clarity on some side way happen. When the office is born, some partners State House they born, we did see a post from Syria, like in Facebook page, who said they can clear see the office of horrible cannibal killer been born, and they also been stated about another office we born with secretary, the press secretary, is it? Thomas Andy. We want for many to be specific. Then report them will get out from Syria line. Now been true or not true at all? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Number 5.
Good afternoon. Mina Anarif, and the report for AFDLU. The question will go to Mr. Bongi. So, with everything we don't see, you make account the realization, say, the fire force authority will work very hard for say, stop the fire. So the question is, what if they stop for they will put in that same effort, put for State House, for houses the way the government
All right, and the first round. I'll just go through the question then. The first question, you talk about ETSA, you say for invite ETSA car. We don't be very clear, see, this situation. By the way, the committee is excellent, the Honorable Vice President said, includes ETSA. Okay? That committee, they include ETSA. The assessments include ETSA. But the professional view of everybody so far is that not to ETSA trigger. I don't say ETSA no one they cause fire. But this one, that be electric oil, also appliance related. Okay? So again, let us separate the facts from what we believe, because what we believe not means in a fact. Yeah, very important. I ask Mr. Oge the question for you about equipment, on a capacity. I want you to just talk about maybe giving an update on the capacity of the fire service. The brother asked about on our response rates, how quick will they be, and any challenges owner gets on that. Somebody said they asked whether this was voltage related. We don't answer this question, but maybe you want to just reinforce that. Then similar to that question is about the capacity of the fire station. How many functional fire stations are there now? The vehicle the owner gets, and then the sister in question will lead to the laughter. I don't get some of these questions in the public. For example, when we announced yesterday, I'm going on the TV there and we report with the demands there about the cause of the fire. Somebody say, so I get capacity for determining cause so quick. I don't do the investigation. If any cities in Dinaya where things in state house are the same like in your private house, then that is in the something wrong with that. Anybody where thinks that the seats of power, where fire go in, VP, we all are, we left with lives and go there, the states. If anybody thinks that are exactly the same for Apple, they can for do the best on all situations. And I also mentioned something on radio. Every fire, the reason why we get the report to the so every fire incident they follow an investigation. Then go do an investigation. Then go assert cause. Then they under investigation into the police. Not to all you pay attention to. Not to all you do press conference for. Because this year 200 and something fire already. If I do press conference for each one of them, you say no can have press conference day. The states owes, that's where the country owes. If anything happened to that state, the same people don't really talk to. I enter one studio, immediately talk say, how it don't take 24 hours, 48 hours now, they don't know the concept of the fire. It's like the state house, we will put every measure in place or immediately give them this information. Now I tell the person, say, actually, I can't at the studio because I've been running at others. I just say reach. I don't do all the other show there for go reports the official position we will get on the cause of the fire. Now that person say now, oh, so I am for know the cause of the fire. They go, you give information, you complain. You ask for, you complain. They respond on time, you complain. We have challenges as a country. It's true. The capacity where they're supposed to get fully, they don't get that. Only Iceland day. But if fire, you pay me as a citizen for be proud. See fire happen at your state house. By the way, when I did Liberia, I think it was 2006, you remind me today. Fire happened when they were hosting an international event. Heads of states were in Liberia. Inside a mansion. Major fire happened, they were completely destroyed after they rebuilt that building they completely. Notre Dame, one of the most famous buildings in the world, fire happened in France. I just covered Denmark last month. One of the major iconic buildings in Denmark, fire happened, they destroyed the building completely. Fire can happen to anywhere. An accident. In this case, me as a Sierra Leonean, about to you, sir. I respect you and the people there. When I face the fire, when I prevent time for overcome that building, you know, move over a 2 floor. Country they will get way more than me. Fire they happen, they take down entire buildings completely happen. In this case, we got it right. From applaud, we fix the problem we're supposed to fix. Yeah? So I just want to get up AUG and hand over to you. Let's just talk about capacity and which we don't do so far for building capacity. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. On the issue of capacity, we don't able, you see, people that we don't follow the fire service, we're able for no for say. Last year, through His Excellency the President, Dr. Julius Mandabio, Fire Force be able for launch new fire engines in Africa. In fact, the Fire Force training school, and then we launch fire engines. And that very day, we able for pass out a number of firefighters, new recruits, enter into the service. And within that particular week, the government get approval for there we go into contract for additional fire engines. That contract they own for able to get additional engines. We don't already get approval for able for do additional recruits. That contract, that program they own. And I don't say for people that didn't we will say people they don't do application to Fire Force now. And then they can go through the different processes. Now, inside this present administration, not less a person than His Excellency the President, when we begin to get, when President begin for you can say, not to Freetown one and go and Kenima and Makeni, no more for enjoying Fire Force facility. Through President directives, we begin for build fire stations in other areas. We build Kailam, we build Pigeon, we build Kabbalah, who are the first three. In fact, His Excellency the President, President Bio, na Ingo Commission, in first appearance na Fire Force, na for go commission the Kailam Fire Station, where they right now and the South people live in that community. Yeah, we're able for don't build Pigeon, we don't build Kabbalah, we wait for commission them. We don't commission them last year. But we not be able for commission the last year because the equipment there we don't come for them yet. You know, we just commission a building, you call it a fire station, you not get fire engine, you not get personnel. Then I mean, you just make mockery. I remember when President we go commission Kailam, he asked me if people they want for get to Kailam, waiting for you. I give them the call sign for Kailam. Usa I give the call sign. President we elect for testings. I take the phone. Right in front of the public, we dial the number. Somebody that the control room answered. Fire service, Kailam. And he was extremely happy. Now we don't build Kailam, Pigeon, Kabbalah. We don't build one more station at the Western rural. In fact, that's not the Usa training school. We don't build a response center. Now that's same training school. So now two, you get the training school at one side, you get a response center, what we call the Waterloo Fire Service, or you can normally because my Simatron today, now Waterloo, we normally call it Simatron Fire Force. Currently, we don't finish for being Local, we don't finish for being Mabuka, we didn't back end for being Bond. There were a current infrastructural development then we did go on. And then stations there were don't call, not to them all get fire engines as of now. We get from for say, waiting at the normally tell we big one and some people in there we don't hear even a budget oversight and other areas. Fire service business, not to business, it has been neglected for a very long time. President Bio come and he decides say, let us put a wheel, let us begin a restart. So now in effort don't make we don't able for fix all that. Then even the airports, the national airports in this country, we go there right now with fire personnel where they under the command, making sure that people that when they go out and in inside this country, they're always safe. Yeah. Right now, as we talk so, the fire safety bill and policy, for the first time for introduce the fire safety bill and policy, it on that policy and bill launched in a cabinet. Now, cabinet we for just send and go parliament, and then that's the end. We pass them to law. But in the wisdom of His Excellency in the Vice President and other members of cabinet, they therefore advise say this policy and bill we for send them back to the people for which they call popularization, so that the people then were able to put their opinion into the document. Then were able to own the document, so that when the document will revert back to cabinet, it will get not only the opinion of the firefighters, it will get the opinion of Sierra Leone. And that popularization, now we get right now. We don't get everything set for the popularization. Once it is sanctioned, we will go on, we will begin engage people in Freetown, Abon, Makeni, Komon, everywhere in this country. We will engage everybody on the popularization. During the popularization, we engage everybody for look at this bill and policy, so that when we send them back to the cabinet, it will be the view of all man in this country. And the view of His Excellency that we not for just pass a law like that. It's supposed all man for the water. Right. And that brings the popularization. So then somebody asks, they say Cambia station. Yes, we not get no fire engine at Cambia. No two cars, we not get. Cambia not get fire engine.
But station day na engine now
we do sensitization. The officer that we do na sensitization activities in the and the same thing they happen with Ujon. And the same thing they happen with Kabbalah. We get station here, we not get fire engines again. And that make actually say we did not try to get additional fire engines.
Right.
We not get all. And I want to make the while I close, Mr. Minister, I want you able to know for say last year, country way pass free, California get fire, and it take them close to 3 weeks, and fire will all be the follow. Close to 3 weeks for able to put that fire down. Inside Sierra Leone, the National Fire Force able for save the state house of the Republic in 4 hours. Only 4 hours. You know, it take me a day. We able to bring that fire day under control. I think that are some of the benchmark there. You asked me about what you say we slow for bringing a fire. Just look at Freetown. The road them. Million business now for protect life and property. So when I come out to the fire station at breakneck speed, when I go, I make sure say the motorcar them waiting at the road. I get for the balance them. The human and vehicular traffic at the road. I get for balance them. Some area they at this storm where now we call impassable road. Go down Akube, get fire at Akube. It take me more than 1 hour for any reach journey. Go right up the hill. Some side they way we don't disaster management and we don't have a social, we don't tire. Waiting they come and they continue for billion that we would know the emergency service not be able for good. Yes, I will tell you now we not get all the fire engines we want. Right. I will tell you now we not even get fire helicopter. We not get fire. Maybe the motorcar with the chief officer they ride. Now all one way I can always be provoke and Mr. Minister say that motorcar I will get for Commander you, President but then with all the limited capacity, the fire force don't start tall in then this year. In then few days there no more, Mr. Minister. When we come out to State House, the very day we come out to State House, now we rush go then at Shalima. That very night,
yes,
Shalima is on fire. Yeah. We go in our Talu. But the next day, early morning, the next day, we didn't attach to Keke compound instead of another fire. Limbakon, now another fire. This morning, now 34 minutes. Finally, I change the clothes way I wear because I'm not for gas on in fire combat. I therefore change for you for which I this particular program. So
thank you.
We know the arrest.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Komon-Tok. As I said, national hero. The number for the fire service is 300 to 312. He said you can call 300, 301, 302, 303. Dial any one of that number there, you will get the fire service from 300 to 312 across all network. When I help you popularize that number there, we are also hearing the number for NDMA with a 1199 and the number. And I mean, so very quickly, this law we are talking about migration and deportation bill. What's the status of the law? Quickly. You get my point.
Well, thank you. When we brought that info, say in 2022, the government enacted what we call Anti-Human Trafficking and Migrant Smuggling Act. Because when the issue of anti-human trafficking, done in Poku, and even the migration, the illegal one when they need to let here, this law might come into place immediately. But we get other laws there. Some of them are old, but they're still there. We have the non-citizen registration, immigration, and expulsion, which probably you will call deportation, Act of 1965. We get that. We also get the Citizens Act of 1973. Then we get the Refugee Protection Act of 2007. So we actually get the legal instruments for back this up. And one thing we sometimes we get for look at and review, because you don't think that the 1965 one, when I had this Registration, Immigration, and Expulsion Act of 1965, when even they need the Internal Affairs Minister for letting deport somebody from this country. Yes? So we get for review that and listen. But we get the legal instruments. So that make you know that. Thank you.
So the minister very thorough. He asked a question, okay, all the law there. And I know say the Learned Attorney General and Justice, they also look at this constitutional review process with the board, citizenship issues, and part of what's in the consider. A couple of quick questions for me about safety fire officer. In fact, the fire force chief reports to receive the first call for the fire, and because they get a dedicated fire safety officer with the state house. Now, from that person, the first person will make the call. Sub-officer Edith Dubuya, and one of the national heroes in this. He did it, and at the ultimate offense the fire, and the privilege from it. So yes, we get that. Sometimes you get a system, you can check all rooms, somebody go back, you never know all, sometimes a floor, now all this now the investigation you could look at. But if the question now whether we get that possible, I will assure you, see, we get people who will look at safety, we will strengthen their provision and they do better. That's true. The second question about the specificity of office step. I mentioned this in the radio. They just don't tell us on the third and fourth floor. The third floor, now the west wing, now is severely damaged. Fourth floor, it gets some level of damage. It just says in 2 specific offices. Now, in all our efforts, the other offices were affected in other ways. The water, the smoke, the debris, and it's for clear. And one radio show somebody tell us, you should specific office there. Not only job, and I don't know why they look through debris for telling you, I say, oh, this person never is here, this person never is here. But I don't go on the record for confirm, say, indeed, the press secretary office will be one of the offices that will be severely affected. That we see that. Parts of advisor the office, including Chairman KKY, parts of the office was also affected. Not as severely, not at the same level as how my brother used to get to my office to be affected. The reason we say these things is twofold. And people don't ask me, like this, all the offices that we affected. No. But what if I want to know something? One, we don't hide. This is public information. This is for the government. Two, if we get the information, we give you go to from test information, make sure say, for example, me, I don't always come and say, I don't lie to the people of this country. Possible at times, so if I say this comment, I'll tell you what I know and the facts. The others, I don't know that office this, that office that, that office not. But I don't think say the interest for me that this person office and this person office. All of them people in Sierra Leoneans, all of them work for the state, all of them will care about them deeply. And any if you affect any of them one day for affecting all. I was touched when I go visit the board office, you can get to Master and see the extent of it. But I was touched because my state house. connectivity of the power. I was touched by going inside the two offices at the fourth floor. Any service affects, it affects all our elements. So that note we pay attention to. Now we'll take this final round of questions. Apologize, we'll do another 10, 15 minutes and then we'll do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. Go.
I'm not to say that's it. I'm starting to. I want to see what you can hope to do. That's a 4 5
Thank you. Yes, number 2. My name has been shown a report for privilege. Specifically to the Fire Force, we want to know basically the number of fire incidents we will get from January to this month April. I can't please. We want to know whether if a challenge or surpass the number of fire incidents we get last year from January to this very month last year. I want to do comparison analysis for whether we don't get to some points where the continue for their free. So that's it. All right, number 3.
Yeah. With them now, Mahmoud Silla from the Nature newspaper. Chief Fire Force Officer, which advice you give to Sierra Leoneans regarding the rampant or rapid fire incidents in Sierra Leone? Secondly, this thing to say Sierra Leoneans or some Sierra Leoneans they not adhere to the advice because DGO attests to the fact the interagency meeting, the Sierra Leone meteorological agents give an advice that due to the heat this year, therefore experience a lot of fire incidents. So let we adhere to a preventive measures. Does this mean some Sierra Leone they not adhere to the advice of some of these agencies?
Thank you. Good afternoon, 4. Yes, 4 and 5.
Mina Jaffa Mercedes from Greater Democracy. I just observation. One with regards to the timing we ability to apologize for. This time, approximately, if I'm not forgetting, the 5th time we this press conference they go above 3:30 we were agreed for. And also we see sign language, we know the speaking, and it make a worry for us if this game make we don't therefore we can see the military happen before, this it make a worry if this game will never see female person in the panel. But the question is whose kind of pressure will all this be put to government-related ministry, department, and agency with regards to work for one, particularly for the Ministry of Information, for continuous civic education, where you get issues of electricity challenge, now fire challenge, and other issues then on how citizens then for change their behavior. And again, to other ministry, department, and agency, how they said will therefore play the role. The whole thing NDMA they talk about and the fire service they talk say better good than all the people only take advantage of some of the land things they will have to do and things like that.
All right, thank you. Final question. Thank you.
Times. Mr. Bonge, according to your statement, you mentioned say other than the State House issue, which according to you would say now appliances then according to you. Other than that one, the 215 fire outbreak we don't get, with exception to waiting Mr. Magura states, CC states say apply bushes and keyboard. What you now find out say from my investigation, I am responsible for the 215 outbreak of fire incident that we don't face. Madam Minister, according to Usman Kamara, he said he go now for fair job. We clearly send a signal. As a result of joblessness in the country make Mr. Kamara and the other lady left the country for who risk their life. What will they do as a ministry and the government in particular? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We get to the final round of questions. It's interesting, Jamba, how we keep to the time, but now you question I come as part of the above the time. The reason I can do that now because if I stick to the time, stick to sense, I will say I know I balance the question. Or me say one for where they go. Fair points, and you know me, I will commit at the important to time. I'll stick to that. With commitment to start, and also knowing for what you're talking about, making sure we get an inclusive panel. On the sign language, it's still the kind you see they provide that to some community, but we this week again you will notice the SLDC not there, and they take from we when they can get the multiple cameras and make it on time for us. So they are for the possibility that right now, and as something we work on this ministry. I don't tell us not to say every day we don't change here, we don't make here cameras and all things. We change all and the wait number, give small time, patience they play with the car. But a good question on day one and day. So make I just come back to you, sir, because we don't run out of time. I really want to keep this very short. I want direct answers now. 34 updates. I want to let you give me the 34 updates. This advice on fire incidents. Any additional idea about the cause of the fire incident the way you report so we don't have to know what the I think the main question in that go ahead.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister, and thank you, colleagues. For the 34 incidents, this morning around 6 o'clock in the morning, we received calls saying 34 they were fired. In fact, we marshaled, not when they talk, say, only for State House, we marshaled 5 new fire engines and they washed all at 34 this morning. Yeah, and we aim for that fire in less than 2 hours. And we realized, for say, that fire, now that fire will not get nothing from electricity. In fact, now we are house. Now store outside they can keep material and whenever they get emergency, like for example, you get Ebola, you get smallpox, the military want to assist the civil population and inside that story, and they put them, base them, put them other alpha material they can use. That particular thing, they cannot get one electrical wire with it, not to anything for those electricity. On the contrary, we realize say fire became very close and a burning fire, you get radiant heat waiting before enter into the building. So that was the update for 34. In terms of the fire for last year and this year, I will tell you, see, from what we don't get so far, this year we don't get an increased number of fires. Comparatively, when you look at the number of months, the month and when the fire did. Advice to Sierra Leonean and the cause of the fire, probably I'll just need for taking the two together because I'm the same. The common cause, you don't say, if I'm not able to call one by one this host and this fire, but I will tell you the common cause. Common cause of fires in this country, therefore, with carelessness. People there, we waiting at the east, we already know sin and report them with rely back. Some man they even left the kitchen. They go begin cooking at the veranda. Sometimes when stranger they come, move the cold pot from the veranda to the parlor and inside the room. Yeah. So if you begin to take combustible material into your premise, then you'll be ready for that kind of situation again. You get people there inside the city and other parts of the country where left the electrical appliance on. They're not, some are not even outside the switch. You get ACO, you get bulb, even this bulb in there, so this bulb always in there. If you left them on continuously, so till it become heated up, everything gets what you call an ignition point. When you begin for heat and heat and heat, so till you reach the ignition point of that material, then of course that material will come into fire. Yeah. So we all get ignition points. Yeah. So this bad housekeeping, you go now suppose keeping people that will get things they go normal today. Now on top the article they put am. Man they go full up the article. You know what they happen? The way the articles they come out and the sun, they continue for one on top of the panel. And you get what you call spontaneous ignition. We not get anything for root any other thing, but then just like how you end up on my father, not your person in the put again. But because Totibo Kude, you get what you call spontaneous ignition when will take place. You get bushfires there. Minister, you want to explain to now how bushfire and a very good firefighter, so I'm not going to explain that anymore. But bushfire, they said it take place. You get electricity or electrical fires. The other car will say, sometimes can come, you will get rise and fall in current. Very few times you don't notice that. But then the most important thing, the people that when they use electricity inside this country, they always therefore rely on cheap electrical appliances, especially the extension they will take for connect with. I mean, you can imagine somebody gets one core extension, you connect an app, in one connect fridge, you connect television, you connect this, you connect that, and then you can connect electrical. But you want an extension. And you know, according to the science, you go to called catch-up law. This plus this plus this plus this, it will always result to this. Fire now a reaction. Once you get the correct temperature, you get the material with the one, what we call the combustible material, you get the heat source, and then you get oxygen. Once them three a day, you able to put them in the correct combination, fire must take place. Yeah? So the advice to Solomon and to we all, especially when we work, or even when we work, we host them and we place of an office they go within. If I come out my office, disconnect all the electrical appliances. Not even wait for somebody where they will call say this person an estate officer. Be your office where are they? Light go 1 minute at your time. And they come out my office, they go and they come out for Canada, we want the office day off. Yeah? So you do that. Those are the common advice I will give to Sierra Leoneans. Then probably I will end up with one thing. Say, when you hear the fire engine in alarm don't come on, you are going to deal with it. Exactly. Because another source for the slowness. Yeah. I'm not going to bang that thing down to cover them before. Definitely I will not do that. And for try for negotiator, and they slow the time. And other person they per weeks. Now in your corner for make a go and go ever. So all the one you use to go. When we get this year, we give away so that we get easy access to the fire.
Thank you so much, sir. And thank you for your leadership. Somebody asked that question about the bullet where is the place of you in the cities. It's an important question. Now, me, in fact, we don't get meeting already for discussing fire safety laws and regulations, the popularization we talk about. Now we mobilize, we make sure see, the message here we don't disturb people that come. This video all cut we share publicly. We do another say this press conference after we do a summary, we make creativity, Liba and Fuller. When they get the audio as well, we share all over the country, everybody we hear. All the radio stations will help for carry that message. And part of the effort. We need to do more. Inshallah, we will do more. General, before we go, I want you 1 minute quickly for your last word, and then Minister, you will comment on that. You will get the final word before we go. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Issues around disasters concerns everybody in the society. Not only for NDMA, not only for National Fire Force. Now we all be concerned. I believe say we know say some neighbors and they were very, very stubborn, especially with their attitude to fire. When you talk, you say not in business. Make an business. Only complain. Let people let go there. We can sit down, we see bad things they happen, we need to talk. Pass the water down. They go inside some areas and then they begin run, they can complain. They read them in a road. Not also, the place don't begin that. If I open my said water, the rain don't begin that. They are not paying attention. And this medium, when I'm journalist there, now when I will use for disseminate the information, they are going to support me. They'll support people so that we will prevent the disasters that don't happen. But for able to make sure pay attention to the environment. If we not take care of our environment, we really take care of you. What are now the defend your road? Fire will not begin to God now bravery no more. Make the wire and they will last 8 hours fire. We need your support. Thank you so much.
Thank you, General, and thank you for your service. Madam Minister.
Okay, so the brother been asking questions, say, if we don't believe, say, now because job not is salon make people when they go in search of jobs. As much as people can get a different perception of why people travel, meanwhile, for tell you, say, there are scenarios where people cannot travel, when they're not even done the college setting. Just because they see that opportunity, every small opportunity, people like to jump at it as long as there's an oversee. And this is the mentality we'll get for player. You have to be clear about who side you go, which you go meet, you get for plan yourself. And at this with young people, they need for understand. Me and Mr. Minister, we get for get sessions, really across the universities, across other places, communities, let people be able to understand this. And the ministry, through their anti-human trafficking, they don't do that in that community engagement. And I believe they will continue. Right now, with this present government, we all know, say, there are opportunities. We get the 5 game changers. When the government in plan, we know, say, government puts a lot of priority on agriculture. That perception on agriculture before, where people say, now you will not go school no more for dropouts there, it don't change you. Because we don't understand, say, you are better off and you make more money in agriculture. And agriculture is not just limited to rice growing. There are other areas where people they make money. Even I don't see somebody when a student in college, they grow in your poultry. Yes, where they able use for sustaining self and in family. So there are opportunities that you can tap in here when they come together as young people. The Minister of Agriculture don't always talk planning for get a corporate farming. Even me on behalf of the ministers, when they come just on, they can show the ministerial farm. Yes, because the opportunity we self once let people they land say not because we are ministers will they well go to sit down our office. No, we go to the farm. And we want to let people that emulate that and you lead by example. When I don't see President Bio self when I see your farm. When I see President your farm, if they go in village, you get all the people that they get big family. Why can't we do the same? We already we get a village there, we get a place there. You can live in Freetown, but you can go and do your farm. So there are a lot of opportunities. What about innovation and technology? When another part of the 5 game changers, when I also don't see the youth employment scheme, where Boku youth and even this PNT will see how they integrate them into different opportunities. Let us look out for the opportunities in country before they look outside, because outside might be risky. I want to end on the note say, we can also today purposely for pass the message say, human trafficking is real. And it's not only real, it's horrific. The experiences where even there not be one talker. Some people, when they lock them in that prison, they come at night, then they open the husband, then they rape them. We have to say these things so that people understand, say, it is not all rosy out there. Now, a risky venture, think twice, consult, go ask questions before you take that venture. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, the Honorable Minister for Social Welfare, Honorable Members Committee. I want to take this opportunity now to say thank you to all for our patience and all the media partners. I want to remind you that say April 27, Salon turns 64 years. April 28, we organize the first national symposium on Salon Day, we call April this year is celebration. And the theme will be with a focus on reclaiming April 27, the importance of April 27. We will now keep it, all to get invitation. We get prominent historians there. We get a first national event to focus on civics for celebrating the 64th anniversary and a new culture of the start in Salon. As I can see, I don't be joined by the co-host for today. With what's your name?
What's your name?
The blush.
This goes here today, don't forget his name. This is my son, he's 3 years old. His name is Mahasa Nosiba. And we have my other son there, he's 7 years old. His name is Alpha Madiba. So today they will took a walk with me, they say they do with me throughout. But I want to say thank you to me. Finally, stay as well for my walk and my all.